We're back and better than ever.
Absolutely great. Absolutely wonderful. Back in the cut. Talking about the best films.
Oh my God.
In our days.
Bringing you just the apex of cinema.
Yes.
Folks. You're going to find out all you need to know about the art of film. All right, we're bringing you such classic, like directors like Bergman, Fellini, Kurosawa, and the Russo brothers.
Yes.
This is Let's Get
Gods of cinema.
Trashed. Yeah, this is Let's Get Trashed. We're talking with me as usual, my good pal and co-host Jimmy D.
That's right, baby.
I'm Nick Tozzo, as you know. You know me. You know at Nick Tozzo Drums. You know at Nick Tozzo on Twitter. You know whatever I am. We're talking about Netflix's original. Well, original's a stretch. We're talking about a film that Netflix has all the rights to.
Yeah.
Called The
Legally
Gray.
has the rights to this movie.
Called The Gray Man. That's as original as it gets. The Gray Man, starring Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Directed by the Russo brothers.
He's in this movie.
If you don't know if you're unfamiliar with the Russos, they directed the last two Avengers movies.
Yep.
The one where they directed Avengers movies. It's all very. If you thought they only knew how to do bloated big budget horse shit, ooh boy. Congratulations on being
Wait
right.
until you see medium level budget.
Oh yeah,
shit.
That's true. Wait, prepare to be shocked at how middle budget that they can actually also make nonsense with.
No matter the budget.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
how
matter.
much you pay us. We're going to give you trash. The Gray Man. All right. Let's couple things. Let's talk Ryan Gosling real quick.
Yep.
Do you like him?
I think, honestly, I do like him.
We did talk about him
like
briefly at the end of our episode we did last week.
Yeah, I kind of do like him. Yeah, I mean,
we talked about him for a second at the end of our Adam Project episode. You like him? You said he's good in a period piece.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In a time that's not like ours, usually past or like future. Or for some reason that seems to be working for him. I don't know why. Maybe when he's more of a character that's not so like modern, or when he actually is a character of a different theme, maybe he's good at. But
do you have any examples of this besides
Blade Runner
2049 and
Drive
and The Nice Guys? Oh, okay.
I like Drive. That seemed to be like more 90s almost kind of thing. Like,
okay.
I don't know, but honestly, no. Yeah.
I've never seen Drive. I actually have heard that that's really cool.
It is really good. Yeah, I think he is a good actor, man. He might. I don't know that there's like a lot of actors nowadays. Like he's one of the main ones. Like now, I think acting. My prediction is that it's gonna get so muddied because of the streaming and because of everything and because of the movies that are like coming out constantly, that actors are just going to be like, I don't know, maybe he's in a thing. Like, I don't know that we're going to have like as big of actors. Like, I know we talked a little bit about that with like Tom Cruise. Like,
True.
That's definitely gone. But like,
yeah, we talked about Tom Cruise being the last movie star.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like, as they're introducing like new people constantly, like I don't know that this thing will work that they do with like Netflix originals where they get a Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds. They're like, oh, we got him. You know, like how long is that going to work? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It like dilutes whatever sauce that they might have, I think.
To lure you in, maybe. I don't know. Because they're not.
I mean, the money. I mean, they're lured in by the money, and
Sure.
it's probably promises to be an easy shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The only movie I can think of that was like the only Netflix original movie I can think of that was like taxing. That seems like it's a real film that somebody gave a shit about was The Irishman.
Yeah,
Irishman is great. It's a Scorsese, it's genius. and it has real actors, and it took a really long time. That movie was like a slog. That movie took forever for them to film.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had like problems. I don't know what took them so long. But that was like a thing that was anticipated and people were talking about, and it seemed like it took a long time. But then when the product finally came out, everybody was excited to see it. Everybody who's not an idiot said it was great and loved it and said, man, it was worth it. And then they overcame all this stuff and brought us this really, borderline masterpiece.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else I've seen on Netflix, Adam Project, Gray Man, whatever other like original Netflix movies, it seems like, they spent some money on their lead actor to get kind of a name, and then it's like they probably did this in a weekend.
It's a formula for sure. It feels like a formula.
Yeah.
They're like some type of lasers at some point in the movie, an actor, that we know probably, and then just like, I don't know, just whatever mediocre dialogue is fine.
Yeah, it's definitely like
they got Billy Bob in this one.
They do have Billy Bob Thornton.
That surprised me.
I was surprising. Before we move on to him, I have just one little note on Gosling is that I just read. This is not related to the Gray Man, but I just read he's in talks. He's going to star they're going to reboot Ocean's 11. Again, they're going to make another Ocean's 11, and with him being like Danny Ocean.
Okay.
Him being Frank Sinatra.
What are they going to steal?
I don't know, dude.
They're going to steal the moon, and then that's the moonfall. That's the tie-in.
Yeah. They're going to put it on the original planet from where humans are originally from in Moonfall.
Yeah.
An episode we did previously, although an episode that'll probably come out later. I think the Moonfall episode might be later. Whatever. Anyway, it's just like another...
He's also going to be in Barbie. They're making a movie about Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
He's going to be Ken in Barbie, which actually they make a joke. They reference that.
They do make a joke about that.
They make a Ken. They call him Ken.
Yeah.
I think the bad guy, Chris Evans. Ugh.
Yeah.
God, I hate him so much. He calls him Ken doll or something like that. They reference that in this movie, which is bad. But you know what? That Barbie movie honestly could be good. That's Greta Gerwig, right?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know that I've really
I think it's
judged it yet, or I'm just like, interesting. Like, is that?
I think it's that. I think it's Greta. Let me look it up because I want to know for sure. I'm pretty sure it's Greta Gerwig, who's an excellent director.
Oh, that's cool.
She's done really she's done really smart films. Yeah, it is Greta Gerwig who she directed. She wrote and directed Lady Bird.
Interesting.
And which is a great.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, which is a great movie. And Little Women.
Okay.
Which I didn't see, but I'm gonna watch. Why do you think I'm gonna watch Little Women?
Timothy.
Yeah, my boy Timo.
He's also in Lady Bird.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a really smart director. I have a feeling she's gonna do something. There's two ways to go. There's two ways she can go with Barbie, and she can go like, and both of them would be good. I think if she played it like completely serious, and just almost. Just didn't treat it like a joke. Treat it seriously, and this is what Barbie and Ken's life is like. That would be really interesting. I think, or she might do something really, she might do something really smart and whatever smart lady feminism or whatever the fuck, and she's good at that.
Sure.
And I think whatever it's gonna be, that Barbie movie's gonna be good.
Really?
I think it's going to be good.
Oh, interesting, man.
Because I believe in I believe in Greta Gerwig. I think like I'm saying it like she's like it's the Dark Knight where I believe in Harvey Dent.
Well, I mean, that's what gets people into theaters, right? If the director has like a good resume, even something as risky and like you don't really know how it's going to be done, it's like, well, I like the director. I'll see it. I'll watch it. You know?
I trust her to handle it like. I trust her to not be like some, she's not trying to make a comedy, I don't think. Or if it is a comedy.
I think it will be a comedy.
But it'll be a comedy. Lady Bird was a comedy. Lady Bird was a comedy. Lady Bird was a really funny movie. Yeah. And it's really charming and interesting and smart. I really like that movie. And I'm going to like Little Women because Timo's in it and we're talking about does it dilute our actors to have, these Netflix movies and these formulaic bullshit that we just churn out. It does, but you can still rise above that if you're a dude who's careful, if you're good and you're careful about picking projects and you only do stuff that has like meaning. Timothy Chalamet is going to be exempt from it.
Sure.
He's never going to be, I hope to God, please. God, if you're listening,
please.
God, if you're listening, this is my prayer. I don't ever want to see if Timothy Chalamet is in the Gray Man Part 4 as the new
as a gun. He's just a gun.
The new bad guy or the new secret agent.
Yeah,
I will.
Wait, here's a question for you.
Go for it.
At what point do you predict that Timo will play a villain?
I mean, he's kind of a villain in The King. A little bit.
He's still the main.
Well, he's the main, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of the villain in Lady Bird.
I thought they were just high school.
Well, yeah, I mean, again...
like a true villain.
So that's...
No, he's going to be... Here's what it's going to be.
Where he has an evil master plan?
He's going to be
hopefully never.
He's going to be a Batman villain.
No. He's never going to do it.
Well...
I believe in him too much.
Okay.
He's never going to do it. He's never going to put on a cape... or whatever the bad guy version of a cape is. He's never going to be a superhero.
Yeah,
he's not going to be a cartoon villain. He might play a bad...
He's going to be Bugs Bunny in Space Jam 3.
He might be a bad guy in something, but he's not going to be... He's not going to be a super villain. He'll be the antagonist. I mean, I'm sure he'll find some kind of project like that.
Sure.
But I believe in him too much. He's never gonna betray me like that. He'll be the villain the second he agrees to anything I don't think he should. Then
sure.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Gosling as Ken doll might be good, just because Greta Gerwig's good, and Gosling actually is kind of dumb enough to be like, he does have like a simplistic kind of dumb face. He could be. I don't know.
It could be
because that's also. I mean, that's probably again with Greta Gerwig. Barbie will probably be like the smart one, and Ken's the dumb idiot. And
as women,
he might be. Fine. I'm fine with it.
Sure.
Let Gosling be dumb. At least on purpose. Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep.
So, speaking of The Irishman, whatever de-aging CGI technology that Scorsese invented for The Irishman, he must have gave it to Netflix because they used it on Billy Bob Thornton. We had middle-aged Billy Bob Thornton walking into this prison at the beginning of the film to rescue, young Ryan Gosling. That looks bad. That looks terrible right off the bat.
They just haven't figured it out, have they?
I don't know. I don't know why they even keep trying.
That's a good point.
When's the best de-aging technology you've ever seen? Because they used it famously in The Irishman, this movie, Star Wars, when they tried to make young Princess Leia.
The only time it really looked good is if the person was like full CGI, and this is the only one time Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of the newer Terminator movies, but he was already like a robot character, so CGI was fine. I felt like for it.
Okay.
But you kind of knew he was like robotic anyways. Like the Leia one in Rogue One, especially where she's like young Leia and her head moves like a robot. And she's like, we've got the plans. You know,
is it that bad?
It's very bad.
I've only seen it the one time.
I love Rogue One. I actually really like that movie.
Ugh.
But the end of the movie, like the fake Leia was like, she's like, I got the plans now. Like she even like her head moves like a robot. Even it's like, we've saved the nation. You know, I don't know
what. So other than here's the obvious answer is the real answer to my question is stop making fucking sequels and prequels and stop doing franchises. But the actual question is, what should, since they're not going to stop making franchises, what should they do in this situation?
I mean, there's a lot of, I would say, history has probably quite a bit of stories that we haven't really like told.
No, I know that.
What do you mean?
They're not going to make more stories. They're going to keep feeding us fucking Star Wars.
Sure.
So, what should they do? Should they perfect?
Oh, with the CGI face?
Should they perfect CGI face, or should they cast a different actress and trust the audience to know that's a actress playing a character?
I think for now that's kind of the move. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. No one's ever cared that that's been what they've done.
I think that's what they should do, but that's clearly not what they're trying to. They're trying to just use the CGI stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, whatever. All right. Why don't you give us a synopsis of the Gray Man, please?
Yeah, essentially, Billy Bob Thornton kind of comes into Ryan Gosling's prison cell, and he's like, "Oh, you're nobody, and you've killed before," because he needs an agent for like a super secret assassination group, and for some reason, Ryan Gosling really fits that mold. So he recruits him, and then I think it cuts to like 5 to 10 years later. I remember the exact time.
Yeah, it's like 10 or 15.
He's now like a badass. He's out of prison. He's wearing a cool suit or something. He's at a party, kind of already like delved into a mission. So he's kind of just already in the shit. Essentially, the program tends to lead that the assassination person eventually has to be killed off, and he very quickly has a target on his back pretty much at the beginning of the movie. Like they have to kill him off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. Billy Bob Thornton recruits Ryan Gosling, gets him out of prison to turn him into a nameless spy. He doesn't have a name anymore. He has a number.
Yeah.
He's number 6.
006.
Well, and they even make that joke.
Make that joke,
yeah. It's like, what are you, 007? He's like, no, that was taken. So I'm just 6.
Yeah.
Which is like, ugh. such a bad joke. Yeah, so he's the cliche nameless spy. I don't know why they couldn't have just given him a name. He certainly has to have a fake name at some point.
Yep.
He can't check into a fucking Marriott courtyard being like, my name is 6.
My name is 6.
And they're like,
I'm a secret agent.
Sir, you can't.
7 was taken.
Yeah, you can't do, sir, we can't. What does it say on your license, sir?
We need a name with a credit card with a name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My credit card says 6. I'm sure your credit card has a lot of numbers on it, sir. What is the name?
What's your asshole name?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear that this is just like a campy kind of action film, sort of. Maybe not even so campy. I mean, it's pretty much just straight action. Chris Evans is the insano guy that doesn't play by the rules, that's tasked with bringing this agent down.
Well, nobody plays by the rules in this film. But
nothing plays by the rules.
Yeah. And so in our very first mission, we see 6. So kind of what we were talking about, this the Russo brothers, everybody, media in general, everything we have a real problem with Mary Sue tendencies.
Sure.
Roland Emmerich, who we just did a review of his film Moonfall, and we talked about a bunch of Roland Emmerich films a little bit. He is the poster child for idiotic, like a childish. He has a childish mind. And he can't have his protagonist. There can't be any conflict. His protagonist can't be a damaged or bad person. If the good guy has to be good all the way and the bad guy has to be bad all the way, and there's no middle ground anywhere of that, and which I think I'm going to blame Roland Emmerich, but I think a lot of the country is struggling with that now. For those of you not on Twitter, there's a huge discourse going around about whether you should read Catcher in the Rye because the main character, Holden Caulfield, is a bad guy. And it's like, that's the point. But it is a childish mentality prevalent in
one dimension
in the country nowadays. Ryan Gosling he's getting sprung from prison to become an assassin. Right off the bat, he's like, Billy Bob's pitch to him is like, I'm going to break you out of prison because I need you to kill bad guys. And you've already killed a bad guy, haven't you? That's why you're in here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we know that he's in jail for murder, and we know that the guy wasn't good. And then, of course, it turns out to be Shea Wingham, his abusive father. Great actor, Shea Wingham. You don't even see his face in this. You just hear his like voice, and you just see flashbacks of him being abusive. Mm-hmm. But Shea Wingham from Boardwalk Empire, he was Steve Buscemi's brother. Great actor. Too good for this, I thought. And then of course, the first time we see Ryan Gosling actually out doing a mission. He's at a hotel. He's at some hotel in Macau or Singapore. He's at some like Asian gambling mecca.
Yes,
like Macau or whatever. I'm just gonna keep saying that. And he's got to shoot a bad guy. He's got to shoot a target.
He's on a mission.
He's on a mission. He's got to shoot a target. He's standing under a glass bottom, like, he's on the guy's above him on a glass dance floor, and he can just see him. But he's not going to shoot him. There's a kid right there. It's like, we don't care. The CIA, that's the other thing, is everybody's can watch everything. They have cameras everywhere. They're all wired in and talking to each other full time.
Yes.
The head of the CIA, Ryan Gosling, Ana de Armas, who's also there. Everybody's there. They have like full video coverage of this, but they still need him to pull the trigger. And he's like, I can't do it. There's a kid in the way. And they're like, we don't care. Just shoot him. It's collateral damage is fine. It's important.
Sure.
It's important that you kill him and you get the little USB drive that he has on a necklace. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and Ryan Gosling, of course. Well, I can't do it. There's no target. There's no shot. I'll find another way. And he goes and they destroy the whole casino with a big fight. Mm-hmm. They have a big fist fight on top of the fucking roulette table or whatever, and then he fights him and he kills him and he takes the USB drive. And then before he kills him, the guy's like, the head of the CIA is bad, actually. So you should take that.
I'm an agent too.
I'm an agent. You should take that. They're gonna kill you. You should take that USB drive and you should look at it because the leader's a bad guy. And you and I are actually both good guys. They just made you kill me. And of course, he just instantly believes him. Also, I hate for this to be, let's get trashed, left turn corner. But yes, the head of the CIA is a bad guy.
Yep.
That we don't need anybody to tell us that. We all know that. That is true in real life as it is in this movie. That's what the CIA is inherently bad. All right. But anyway, so yeah, and now they spend the rest of the movie chasing down Ryan Gosling.
He's on the run, and they're aware that he has the USB thing, and he's being coy. He's like, yeah, I don't know, and yeah, and Billy Bob Thornton at this point, he's retired. He's already trained him. He's now just chilling with the family and stuff, and yeah, I guess they try to use Billy Bob Thornton to be like, hey, where's your boy? We're looking for him.
Yeah.
We need to get him. We need to find him.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton, he's like the one guy. He's like he's retired, like you said. He's the one guy that was good at the CIA. Yeah. And then he retired or got forced out, and then they're trying to destroy all the stuff he built over the years. But he was he's the good guy. He's the one guy that was at the CIA that's not corrupt.
Sure.
Not like everybody else.
And Ryan Gosling's kind of his protege, so he kind of helps him in the beginning. He's like trying to get him out of the shit, gives him an opportunity, but then is also, what are they? Like, they take his like adopted niece or something.
Yeah. So yep, Billy Bob Thornton has an adopted niece with some sort of heart problem. She wears a pacemaker or whatever. She's an ill child, she's a teenager. That they kidnap her, and then Billy Bob Thornton agrees to, he's like, and then it all changes. He agrees to betray Ryan Gosling, and then he tells him, "Look, man, they got my niece." And then Ryan Gosling immediately forgives him because he's like, "I understand."
Sure.
But now Ryan Gosling, we have a flashback. Ryan Gosling and the niece. He protected her for a couple weeks. They were trying to kill her to get to
Billy Bob Thornton. Because I think his information was released, or where he lives or something. For some reason, they didn't leave the home. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But he's like, they have my info. Come protect my niece while I go do a thing.
Right.
And that's where the bonding happens between the niece and Ryan Gosling.
That's our flashback. And so now Ryan Gosling's like, well, in addition to keeping myself alive, I got to go rescue this girl, and then her uncle, Billy Bob.
It's kind of wild.
This movie fucking sucks, dude.
It's just straight up. It's just an action movie. This is what Netflix is thinking, I'm sure. This is like, here's an action movie. Ryan Gosling's in it. Billy Bob Thornton makes a couple of appearances, and Chris Evans. It's essentially Chris Evans versus Ryan Gosling.
I hate Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I hate him. He sucks. He sucks in everything. He's so bad. He's one of our worst actors. I hate that Chris Evans puts on a mustache. He puts on a mustache and he wears like
Miami clothes.
Miami casual clothes.
Yeah, Miami rich clothes.
And he smiles a lot, but he's trying to do like a menacing smile. And he really you can tell he really thinks he's going for it.
Yeah.
He really thinks he's like putting on a show with my mustache and my button down shirt, and my huarache sandals or whatever. And like, he's like, yeah, I'm really going there.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Everything, dude, this whole movie, all the snappy, terrible dialogue. The first like interaction with Gosling and Ana de Armas is, she's the agent responsible for like giving him the gun, and he's like, it's all just quick and meaningless.
Yeah.
It's like here's the gun. He's like, I don't have a permit. She's like, it's not that kind of party, and then they just walk off. None of those things, they don't mean.
They don't even know each other.
Yeah. But it's like, and so much of the dialogue in this film is just like that, where they all say things that are designed to sound vaguely cool, but they don't answer the questions. Like,
Sure.
Ask me a question about me being a spy.
How long have you been a spy?
Since the rubber met the road, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
example.
It's all meaningless shit like that. I don't know. I don't understand. It's like the Russo brothers. It's like they've heard of David Mamet, and so they're like, man, maybe we should try to do like some snappy. We should try some of this Mamet speak everybody's been talking about since 1970. And it's like, what is it? Well, it's just really fast. It's just really fast, snappy dialogue between people that are obviously smart. Okay, let's do that. It's like, should we look up any David Mamet production or play or screenplay or
there's no time,
anything to see like what that actually means and whether the characters are legitimately smart and it makes sense? No, dude, we don't have fucking
no time. We have 1 week to make a movie.
Yeah, come on, I got to churn this shit out. So yeah, it's Mamet's influence on screenwriting has been a fucking disaster for the human race. And then also like the bad guy, the head of the CIA, and the woman who's like his second in command,
where she's like, "This isn't right. We shouldn't do this."
Oh yeah, the impotent woman who's like constantly, her boss is making her be in this bad situation, and she's constantly be like, "This is not the good idea," and he's like, "You work for me."
There's another way.
Like it's been that way since we went to Harvard. They say the word Harvard 40 times in this movie.
Yeah.
To point out that
everyone's been to Harvard.
Chris Evans went to Harvard with the CIA. That's why they're friends. The head of the CIA and Chris Evans, who's a mercenary, and this woman. It's like you knew when we were back at Harvard that him and I were best friends, and she's like, you've always been a egomaniacal psychopath, just like when we were in Harvard. Harvard. They can't stop, and it brings nothing.
Remember
to
Harvard,
the film.
where we went to school?
Yeah, it brings nothing to the conversation.
Yeah,
to
like the spider web of the characters. It's like, well, that doesn't really do anything, but cool.
Yeah, it's baffling. It's a baffling choice that they decided to hammer. They decided to hit that note a dozen times.
I heard a review of the movie where someone was talking about how like most of the time Chris Evans isn't like even fighting Ryan Gosling. He's like in a room like directing people, and I was like, that's so true. Like,
yeah,
they touch hands twice, and he's like the main guy. He's like, go. It's just Chris Evans in a room saying, get him, to other people,
right?
Like other agents that are just like expendable, like dying people, like people just getting shot.
Yeah, you nailed it. He's until the big showdown at the end, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, it's I wrote down, I think, worst line of the movie I have written down here. It's I'm pretty sure it was Billy Bob Thornton, but he's talking to Ryan Gosling, and he's talking about like, who's coming after you, who's the bad guy, and Billy Bob Thornton goes, "This is shadow government stuff." This is shadow government stuff.
Does that clear it up for you, audience?
As if, I'm sorry, who's the bad guy? It's like, no, it's not. It's worse than this is the shadow government.
Also, I would say like if we go back to like the CIA director guy who's like a hotshot 30-year-old or something, that's like running this operation to kill.
I hated him. Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan Gosling. He's causing so much destruction because of this like chase everywhere he goes. Like, there's no way that he wouldn't have to like answer to somebody for that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it was shadow government stuff, it's still like government. Like, they'd be like, hey, why were you in Nepal, and like, why did you shoot 18 missiles into like the civilian fountain, like populated area? And no one talks about that. Like,
yeah, they destroyed the town square of fucking Croatia.
Yeah,
like they had vans.
SWAT cops are involved. People dying.
Vans full of obviously American spies, all shooting at Ryan Gosling, who's like hiding behind a concrete bench,
and they can't get him.
Killing Polish police or whatever country they're in that's Eastern European, and it's like, this isn't even, you don't even have to answer to your own government. Fucking Kazakhstan's gonna declare war on us or whatever the fuck. Like, it's
that was very unrealistic to me, and it's for sure a movie. I get that, but it's like, that seems a little wild to me. Like, everywhere they go, they're just following. Even a hospital where they like where Chris Evans like goes there with all the agents. Like, I just like, I don't believe that you would be able to do that.
Yeah, and it's just, it's and what's really, really bad is the again, the fact that everybody has to be unproblematic except for the obvious cartoonish bad guys. But Ryan Gosling, of course, we see a little bit more of his backstory. The only reason he was in prison is because he killed his abusive alcoholic father, who was trying to kill his younger brother. And then again, he can't be problematic at all. I'm doing air quotes. He, Lloyd Hansis was a toxic piece of shit. We all went to Harvard together. Literal worst, line I've ever heard. He's our sociopath. They keep calling him the woman, whoever the woman CIA bad guy is, she keeps calling Chris Evans a sociopath to explain his behavior. He's a sociopath. As in, like, that's why he doesn't work for the CIA anymore. Because he's not good, not like us who we think we're good. He's a sociopath, so he has to be a mercenary that the CIA just hires.
Yeah, he's not even for the CIA. He's just a psycho.
Yeah, which again, you're not too evil to work at the CIA. If you work there, you're evil. If you're the CIA hiring people that they can't in good conscience, the CIA subcontracting to people that they can in good conscience hire as employees.
Yeah.
He's too immoral for us to give him a W-2, so we have to keep him 1099.
Also,
that's the level of more moralism that this movie is trying to put forward, and it's fucking stupid.
I feel like if the CIA really wanted to kill somebody too, like Ryan Gosling, like they would just follow him and like poison needle him from afar or something.
There's literally a million times he could have killed him.
Yeah, there's so many times, even chained to a park bench, they couldn't kill him. Like, I just feel like the CIA would just poison him or do something sneaky, like maybe with like less destruction of like an entire city or hospital,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah. And then also another thing about like these simplistic baby characters. So in that hospital scene you mentioned, they finally get the fucking USB drive from Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
He plows through. It's a bunch of mercenaries. He's knocking off mercenary teams left and right. Team 6, Team 4, Team 5, Team 2. He's fucking them all up. There's a lone Indian guy.
Yeah.
Pakistani, whatever the fuck. There's one Indian guy. He's the one that actually gets it. He knows some sort of whatever karate, and he karates the fuck out of Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
And he gets the shit back, and he takes it to evil Chris Evans. And then when he gets there, he's like, "Here's the thing you ordered. Like, whatever. Just give me my money, and I'm gonna go." And then
he door dashes the USB drive to Chris Evans.
Yeah. Anyway, but then of course it's like somebody mentions like, "You got the thing. What are you gonna do now? You're gonna just kill that girl you have hostage?" And he goes, the Indian guy's like, "You're gonna kill a girl?" And he's like, "Shut up. Just take your money and leave."
Yeah.
And then later he gets into a fight with Ana de Armas, who she got involved in the fray. They get into a fight with some of the worst lighting I've ever seen. Also, as the Let's Get Trash technical corner, Russo's fucking terrible lighting. You guys are dumb. That scene looks so bad. This fight scene between de Armas and the Indian. Anyway, after the fight scene, he just stopped and he said, "Actually, I don't even care. These people aren't honorable."
Yeah, but still fights her.
No, well, he finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the fight, he could have just not fought her. But he's like, "These people aren't honorable, so I'm not even going to take their money. I'm going to go." It's like, well, the one POC character is a morally upstanding citizen.
At the end.
How about that?
Yeah.
How what a coincidence. Who would have thought?
Even this is too crazy for me.
Yeah, the one, yeah, everybody's a violent psychopath except for the one Indian guy who he has like this. That's almost more racist. It's like he has this ancient sense of honor
that supersedes Western thought.
Yeah. I mean,
I
childish,
kill, but for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
He was doing it for money.
He was doing it for money.
Yeah, he was doing it for money
2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, it turns out the people I'm the people I'm invading a hospital for and killing for, they're also gonna kill a girl. That's not very.
That's where I draw the line.
That's not very stand-up guy of you.
Yeah.
Mr. CIA former mercenary ex
CIA torturer.
Yeah. God, yeah. And so again, our hero has to have a sympathetic backstory. Our side characters all have to fit into their box no matter what. Here's the biggest cliche, because the last big battle scene, big fight happens inside some mansion in Serbia or whatever, some enormous palace with, like, I don't know, they don't explain what this place is, this Croatian or whatever, this giant mansion,
historical giant place that's apparently their CIA set up with all the monitors and like
in the living room on top of like beautiful inlaid tile.
Yeah, it's like this is somebody's house probably. Like what?
Well, it's probably like a government building. It's probably probably the governor's mansion of again Croatia, wherever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
But worst part is there's a hedge maze.
Oh yeah.
And wouldn't you know it? What part of the hedge maze do you think the final showdown takes place in, Jimmy? Give it a guess.
Oh my God. I mean, well, you gotta, once somebody's got to be, Chris Evans for sure has to have the niece hostage going through the maze, and Ryan Gosling has to be looking for her in the maze, and of course there's a fountain in the maze, and that would be cool if they fought in the middle of the maze fountain.
Yeah, where's the fountain located? Geographically, which part of the maze would you say?
The middle.
Oh, right in the dead center.
Yeah.
Dead center of a maze.
Middle maze.
That's where we have our big fight. That's where we have our big face-off, huh? Who could have seen that coming who could have seen that coming from the beginning of the maze scene, which started 6 minutes ago?
Also, the thing that happens in so many action movies when the evil character has an upper hand weapon-wise, but he's like, I don't even need this gun to fight you.
Yeah, they both throw their guns away.
Yeah.
Throw our guns into the fountain. And then we'll have a fist fight that goes on forever.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's so bad.
We didn't even talk about the train scene where they run a train into a building.
They run a train into a building.
So much destruction. Yeah. There's like the train. So there's a train scene where like it's right when he escapes the bench. He gets on a train and then other people also get on the train with him, the little transit thing. He's going through doing all the karate and but eventually there's some explosives or something. He gets derailed and he has to jump on the car that Ana de Armas or something.
Yeah, it's more like a trolley. It's like an in town. That train's going through the streets.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's more destruction in downtown Poland.
More destruction of the city, and it seems fine. And I just imagine the next day American just runs trolley into building, and
for sure.
Yeah, there's gonna be some buzz. People have phones now.
Yeah, 100%. People just act like they're you could just
the CIA will cover it up.
Americans can just go and do whatever. Literally, Brittany Griner's in prison for weed in Russia.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think,
you don't think we're gonna get some
free Brittany, but also you don't think that derailing all the trolleys in Germany is going to cause it's just a, I don't know, it's just an insane, chaotic film. Yep. And quickly, I just want to talk about why are there and there wasn't any of this in Moonfall either, which we just did an episode on. It's either already released or forthcoming, depending on whatever. But I've been noticing this more and more in movies. I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure my fellow cinephiles have also come to this, but less and less, especially these types of action movies, why is there no romance in any of these movies? why is everybody so completely sexless or so completely devoid of nobody at no time is anybody ever doing anything
for somebody or because of a love interest, you mean?
Yeah, it's just like they've taken love stories out of movies.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because, like, I almost thought at the end of Moonfall, like, are Halle Berry and him going to have a thing? But they don't. They don't solidify it, and they don't do that in this movie either with Ana de Armas and
right. This would have been like, I mean, that would have been a clear. Yeah, Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas like develop some sort of emotional attraction to each other
because she's helping him for literally no reason.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like, there's
basically.
She, for some, like, no real reason, she just met him at that party. She literally just handed him a gun.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, she's like the ultimate sidekick.
Whatever nonsense justification they give her doesn't hold up under any scrutiny. But she starts off doing it to, like, clear her name because when the whole thing went wrong, her boss got mad at her. And then she's like, well, now I need to take you in to see the boss so you can tell him it was your fault. That's how it, like, starts.
Sure.
Which is... That's not how any of this works. You could have just told him yourself it's not your fault. If he doesn't believe you...
should just go to HR.
Yeah, if he doesn't believe you, that means he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's, like, no sense of humanity in kind of any of these things. And, again, I understand some people complain about... For a long time, we complained because every movie had, like, some shoehorned...
Like bow tie romance thing or something?
Yeah, it had some shoehorned romance that just, like... of course, a love story. But now we've gone so far the other way where it's like there's no humanity. Why is Ryan Gosling not interested in women at all in this film? Like, or in all of these action movies I'm seeing, they're all every spy movie is like a cheap, uncharismatic knockoff of James Bond.
Yep.
Who. Even the last James Bond was completely, like, sexless, almost.
Yeah,
He did it, I mean, he was in love. He did it for whoever that blonde chick is, some boring character that means nothing that they tried to have, like, an arc over multiple movies with.
Yeah.
Stupid, idiotic, terrible James Bond franchise last several outings. But this last one, he's, like, doing it for this woman that he loves. But there's no time where they're, like, together where they try to have, like
a moment or something.
Yeah, where there's no, like, intimacy at all. So what's he even doing it for? I just watched, a couple months ago, I watched one of the all-time worst, probably the worst James Bond movie. Or, I mean, it's not obviously not the worst because all the Daniel Craig ones are the worst, I think. I'm really down on those.
He's made like 9 of them, I feel
like. And they're all like...
He's made so many.
They're bad because they're trying to connect them all. But anyway, the George Lazenby, he only did he was James Bond one time on His Majesty's Secret Service. He, early on, meets a woman, love of his life. He's about to settle down and quit the spy business. He's going to do one more job. He's going to infiltrate... He loves his girl. And he's going to settle down. He's going to infiltrate Blofield's, Spectre's, like, a mountain ski chalet. He goes to...
It's always a ski chalet.
Yeah, at the top of the Alps. He goes to infiltrate that. They have, like, 12 hot young women they've been kidnapped. They're all being brainwashed to become, like, sleeper agents.
Yeah.
And Bond fucks 3 of them. And then when he finally escapes, he gets caught, he's in prison, he finally escapes the ski chalet and he's at the bottom of the mountain, and then the woman he loves saves him, and then they go off and then they get married, and then she gets murdered at the very end. So he marries this woman that he has loved from the beginning of the film, and then she dies as they're driving. They're literally, as they're driving away with the just married and then the tin cans dangling off the back of his car, somebody drives up and shoots her in the fucking head and drives off super fast. And he's sad. But again, even They wouldn't go.
Jeez. I need to watch that.
He hooked up with it's honestly a terrible movie, but he hooked up. He fell in love at the beginning of the movie, and they said we have like a 30-minute chunk of this movie, or we have like an hour-long chunk of this movie where he's not with his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's with other women.
What should we do? I guess we have to have him fuck every single one of these captive sleeper cell girls.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I mean, it's funny, but it's just like that's a part of it, and there's like a charm to it. It's an interesting something.
Mm-hmm.
And stoic, no name, faceless spies with no humanity to them, like Agent Number 6 in The Gray Man, is completely uninteresting.
Yeah, he really is like a dull, stoic guy. That seems really strange to me as like a character. Just like, he's kind of just a serial killer if you think about it. Like at his core, he's just like, yeah, just kill people.
Well, not according to his backstory of sympathetic, everybody has to have a sympathetic reason for why they do something. Yeah, I would say the one positive I have from this movie is the girl, the teenage girl,
sure,
that does have a kind of a relationship with Ryan Gosling, but even that's only based on him saving her life.
Yeah.
But she wasn't too annoying.
No, definitely not.
Usually kids in these movies are annoying. We just did a review of the Adam Project. Obviously that kid is
worst kid.
Excruciating throughout the entire film. This girl, teenage, whatever, she's 17, 14, whatever she is, she's not super annoying. She's not in the film a ton, but even when she is, whatever. They make her, she's wise beyond her years because she's dealt with her heart problems, and so she's not a happy-go-lucky kid. She's, she has a little bit of she's seen some things, man, but nevertheless, she's not as irritating as the average teenage child in one of these movies could have been. So I guess that's a positive.
Yeah, they probably spent the perfect amount of time building her little arc with him and why he actually cares about her. Because he shouldn't really care about her, depending on maybe just his character in general. But they give them some time so he wants to save her while he's also not being killed.
They have to show him as a good guy at all times.
Yeah.
Because we can't have a morally conflicted or morally complicated character.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And that makes for boring, shallow films.
Absolutely.
Which is the specialty of Netflix and the Russo brothers and, yeah. All right. Well, I'll go first.
Raving review.
I'll go first on this one. Don't watch this. They're setting it up perfectly for a sequel. They're obviously going to try to do a sequel. There's no reason to. There's none of these characters that I'm like, I want to see more of this. I want to see where this guy goes. I want to see the next thing.
Yeah.
I want to see the next situation that Six gets himself in and out of because of how much charisma he had in this one. It's none. He doesn't have any. He's It blows my mind.
He's a blanket with a gun.
Yeah, it blows my mind how uninteresting all these characters are. All right, Jimmy, what are you thinking? You want to recommend this to people?
No, unless you really have nothing better to watch and you only want to see explosions. And Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I don't know who my demographic is. Let me know, please. If you watch this at all, please comment. Please let me know. Is this the kind of thing? If you and again, don't feel bad. If you like this movie, tell me. If you hate me and my pretentious ass for shitting on these childish 90s word mindless action movies, tell me. tell me that you hate me for it.
Yeah, I think this movie is for. It's just content, you know. It's just like if people that are okay with just like content and just putting on a movie on a Tuesday night. This might be the perfect movie for you.
Yeah,
you know?
It's definitely not art. It's definitely content. Yeah. That's all everything is now, is content, and it's just like it's crazy that we have to. It's crazy that. Oh, well, whatever. But yeah, please give me some emotion. I'd rather. If one person in the comments tells me they hate me in my stupid reviews and that I'm too pretentious, that'll be more emotion in that YouTube comment than there was in this entire fucking film. So please give it to me, folks. Somebody tell me something. All right, Jimmy D, where can the folks find you?
Yeah, on Instagram is the best place to find all my all the things I do. It's a Sleepy Cowboy TX.
And also go to Spotify.
Oh, yeah. Just released a single. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah. You can find Sleepy Cowboy on Spotify.
Spotify.
Great new song. I really liked it.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
You could use a little drums or something. But
hey, now we're talking. Okay. It's funny that we just haven't collabed in years.
I don't think we've ever done anything music
with Alec.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We did one thing.
You were the bass player for Beat Street for a time.
Yeah.
We have a way more attractive bass player now.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend Kinsley, who's dynamite bass player.
Yeah.
Very cool person. Anyway, my name is Nick. Obviously, you can find me at Nick Tozzo on Twitter, at Get Trashed Pod on Twitter. Let's Get Trashed on Instagram, at Nick Tozzo Drums Instagram. Thanks, folks. I appreciate it. Keep watching. Keep leaving comments. Share it with a friend.
Would you take a suggestion from the audience in a comment for a
Absolutely,
movie?
please.
That would be interesting.
I do have a bunch of suggestions. Obviously, as you're all well aware, our review of Indian super film RRR went mega viral.
Dummy viral.
And so there's a bunch of recommendations in there.
Cool.
Of further Indian cinema we should watch, and cool. I think you and I should find one.
Yeah.
That should probably be next, because I'm feeling a bit of malaise after we've gone through a run. I mean, Ninja Turtles, which is forthcoming. I think this will come out before the Ninja Turtles app in the can. That was great. That was so much fun to talk about. But Adam Project, this, and Moonfall. Oof.
Yeah, we got to do some good movies soon.
I know. I'm sitting here. I'm feeling.
You hate cinema.
Yeah,
you hate modern movies.
This might be the last podcast, fan. If I got to keep talking about this kind of nonsense that I don't like.
Yeah, we'll do some good ones.
Yeah, we got to do a good one, or at least something that I don't know anything about or expected. So I think another Indian film from all the recommendations we got in those comments would be a really good place to turn. And then I've been trying to get Crimes of the Future, Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future. I've been trying to get that done forever, because I saw that in theaters and I loved every second of it. So I want to rewatch that. I want my friend Maudo on it. Shout out Maudo, who did the Northman episode. Go watch that episode. That also only has a few views. Go watch our episode on the Northman, because it's one of my favorites and it's a really, really good movie. But I want him to do that one with me, but he doesn't have the time. But I'd love to get you and Clarence on that one. That would be a good 3-1. I'd love to get Clarence.
Crimes of the Future?
Yeah, Crimes of the Future.
Okay, yeah.
I'd love to get.
I know you've been wanting to do that, so we could do that next. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love. That movie's really, really interesting, and I don't know. That'll be a good one. That would reinvigorate my love of the art of podcasting, which I had I've perfected the art of podcasting, and now
really skyrocketed.
Yeah, now that I'm a podcast genius, it's almost like, where's the challenge?
I need some substance. I need something real.
All right, everybody. Sleepy Cowboy, at Nick Tozzo Drums, at Nick Tozzo on Twitter. Let's Get Trashed, Get Trashed Pod, all that kind of stuff. Follow, like, subscribe, do me a favor, share it with somebody. If you have anything to say, please leave it in a comment. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day. Go see good movies. Let's get trashed.